Welcome to Techstination. We're going to have some fun today. With us from Exploding Kittens is marketing manager Josh Weaver. Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Thanks for having me, Fred. How are you?
Terrific. Now, we often talk about technology and tech products and things, but you've got games that really don't require screens at all. So, but there are tech roots to the company, from what I understand. So give us a little background, first of all, about Exploding Kittens.
Absolutely. And you really couldn't have set us up better. To go all the way back to the beginning, Exploding Kittens was started as a Kickstarter project for Alon Lee, who was previously at Microsoft working on Xbox and doing video games, etc. And he created a game called Bomb Squad. He met up with our cartoonist, The Oatmeal, Matt Inman, and Matt really suggested that the Bomb Squad theme was just okay and it should be kittens. It should be exploding kittens because who doesn't like kittens, especially kittens that try to blow you up. So the Kickstarter project was looking to make about $10,000 and ended up raising 8.7 million. So the first initial reason for the Kickstarter was that Alon Lee, the CEO and one of the co-founders, was he had come from video games and had seen a lot of his younger nieces and nephews just get sucked into them, and really wanted to get away from screens and more into creating games that aren't entertaining, but make the people you're playing with entertaining. So Exploding Kittens went off as gangbusters, and then from there, we've created 7 more games, with the latest right next to me, a game of cat and mouse that definitely took tech to make happen, especially in a quarantine work from home situation, but is about as low tech, IRL fun you can imagine.
Well, tell us how the game is played. The latest here,
latest one, a game of cat and mouse. So the way that it's played is you have a cat mouth centerpiece, which for those who can see, it's this white centerpiece that has a small space for the mouth in which you use a kitty paw catapult, a kitty paw flicker, to launch balls through onto your opponent's side. So you're taking the time to using these kitty paw launchers, these magnetic catapults, if you will, that are shaped like a cat's paw, to load up a ball and fling it onto your opponent's side, using the magnetic base in both the cat paw flicker and the board.
And really, it's great fun for any age, and I guess a lot of laughs playing it too.
Oh, absolutely. The game was actually based off of another one of our characters, Rainbow Ralphing Cat, that I have a plush of right here. Rainbow Ralphing Cat actually goes all the way back to the very first game, Exploding Kittens. Now, this Rainbow Ralphing is actually a scarf that you can also get. But the cat itself came from the Exploding Kittens game. And really, this is another piece out of that universe, as the centerpiece, the cat mouth in the middle of the game is indeed Ralphing rainbows.
Well, I guess one of the things that has made you so popular is you don't try to be politically correct, let's put it mildly, with names and titles, etc.
Well, what's kind of funny is everyone's just like Exploding Kittens, and we're just like, wait, 2 things. 1, they explode you, they don't blow up. No kittens have ever been harmed in the making or naming of Exploding Kittens. In fact, many humans, especially when we were prototyping our game Throw Burrito, the world's first dodgeball card game. So yeah, we definitely don't split hairs, but I will say we are doing our work to kind of karmically balance it out. At least we hope. We have what's called the Kitty Convict Project, in which we remind all owners of indoor cats to give their pets an orange collar, because unfortunately cats are less likely to be reported to like an animal shelter. So if it's an indoor cat, give it an orange collar, so when it's out and about, we know it's a kitty convict. And we're hoping saving some cats is a good way to offset karmically the name of our company.
Well, tell me about the burritos now, because you mentioned them, and that's another new game for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Throw Burrito is actually really kind of taking off and is doing incredibly well at Target Amazon, our website, explodingkittens.com. And it's exactly that. It's a dodgeball card game in which you are trying to get pairs of 3 to get points. However, some of those pairs of 3s trigger burrito battles, a burrito war where it's a free-for-all in which you are throwing these small plush burritos at each other. There's the burrito brawl in which the people on either side of you have to duel, or there's actually a burrito duel where you're going back to back, walk 3 paces, turn and fire. And if you get hit with one of these burritos, you get a burrito bruise, and the person with the least amount of bruises wins.
You've also ventured into poetry, which sounds very sophisticated.
So sophisticated. In fact, it's so sophisticated that it's poetry for Neanderthals. And the way this game is played, it's actually our first word game. Poetry for Neanderthals, I really wish that I had the no stick handy to show you, but it's a word game in which you are trying to get your team to guess the word on your card. However, you're only allowed to use single syllable clues. We suggest that you say it in the form of a sentence, and as you start to read off your clues in the form of a sentence, instead of, let's say your word is campfire, a lot of people would be like hot, sit, roast. However, if you kind of twist that up a little bit and you think of ways that you can full sentence in single syllables, talk about a campfire makes it easier, and you sound like a caveman. So if our word again is campfire, we could say hot place where roast small white cube. Now, if at any point I had used a word that was in the card, like campfire, or I had said something with more than 1 syllables, your opponent is standing next to you with a 2-foot-tall inflatable no stick. Looks like a giant Neanderthals club with the words no painted on it, and they bop you over the head to remind you that single syllables only.
Now, obviously, you guys weren't rooting for a pandemic, but gameplay has really taken off, hasn't it? Especially board games and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we've actually run into quite a few situations in which we needed to kind of diversify where we actually make our product because of anything from ports being shut down to countries being shut down. So it's been a pretty wild year for our production and logistics team, trying to make sure that we can keep up with the demand of people staying at home and needing entertainment that they can play over and over and over again that really doesn't have to do with the screen.
And I imagine you have a lot of fans who are always sending suggestions and things for new games. Tell me about game development and what's being done in-house there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So a couple different things. One, I absolutely love it when people get excited about submitting an idea. And we have a section on our website. If you ever have an idea or have gone through the process, please add your info there off of Exploding Kittens. You can scroll to the bottom and click, play tests or enter game idea. And while we get a ton of those, we absolutely love reading through them and just seeing, who's out there and what other ideas are out there. But when we talk about internal game design, it's a lot of Zoom meetings. It's a lot of Zoom meetings, and it's a lot of courier and shipping games back and forth to each other to test and to. Whereas, pre-pandemic, we'd be in the office, we'd be at our tool benches, making physical changes, and then pulling people over to a table to play. Now we're hopping on Zoom, we're making choices and decisions, and then we're shipping everyone a game. So the game development, it definitely is still in progress. It's just gone a very different route in 2020 than really we had been doing before. We've also been using like Tabletop Simulator, which is a kind of a platform in which you can lay out and design rules to a game to like virtually play. It's significantly harder than sitting down around a table, especially because it's a whole new tool that you have to learn. But it's really opened up how we're able to design games and what type of games. Really quick too, that's another reason why Cat and Mouth was such kind of a big focus for us this year, is because we were looking for 2-player games. The market is kind of notoriously lacking in 2-player games. So that was another big focus to in this kind of pandemic, work from home, quarantine situation, what type of games are people going to need? And not everyone is quarantined with 4+ people. So taking those things into consideration too has also really impacted our game development.
Well, the neat thing is that it's a physical game, but it doesn't require a lot of room to play. It's not like you need a ping pong table or an air hockey thing. But I guess in some ways the concept is similar. I mean, pretty fast action,
Oh yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, the benefit of this is I hope that it gets or we're really pushing that it gets that audience of people who like beer pong and ping pong, as well as like families, because it's not only is it the game, the board, you can fold it up and it's carrying case to go, but it really surpasses all ages. This is a game that is also going to outlive all of us because there are no components of it that are going to wear out over time, from the actual game board itself to the magnets to the balls. They're all going to definitely outlive me.
Well, I guess the balls could get some lost around the house, or the
yeah.
paws, things like that. So are the replacements, or do people need to buy the whole thing again?
No, absolutely. Shoot us an email, contact us directly, either on social or via our website, and we can definitely help with replacements for that.
Terrific. So much fun. And is the plan to stick with this genre of the physical games and not get into the screens at all?
No, absolutely. I mean, we love building the physical games and if I can rattle them off quickly: Exploding Kittens, Bears versus Babies, You've Got Crabs, On a Scale of 1 to T-Rex, Poetry for Neanderthals, Throw Burrito Extreme, a game of cat and mouse. Trust me, we're going to continue building like the physical play at home games that make the people you're playing with fun. But at the same time, we have the Exploding Kittens mobile app that is absolutely doing gangbusters, and since we've released it a couple years ago. And we're also playing with a couple other of our games as mobile. We also understand that there's a way that screens can kind of be brought into the game. So it is a 2-player game, a game of cat and mouse. But if you go to our website, catandmouth.game, we actually have a tournament builder where type in everyone's name on your on the mobile app or on your computer. So it's a little like, we want to make sure that we use technology when it's something that can benefit the game, or if it's something that we super want to try. So we definitely are still working in digital and development, but physical games are kind of where we have our most fun.
Great fun. And the website, simply explodingkittens.com.
That's it.
Josh Weaver, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Fred, thank you so much for having me.